question for you since you are supposed to be some sort of sheikh or scholar now.
I've never claimed to be a sheikh or a scholar, so but go ahead.
Well, then why are you going around recruiting all these people and telling people to follow you? You are trying to start your own Jamaat, aren't you?
I've never asked anybody to follow me. They only need to follow Allah and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I have never asked anybody to join my Jamaat. The only Jamaat that people need to join is the Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which includes all the billions of Muslims that aren't in your cult. Was that your question?
No. I want to know who your sheikh and imam is.
My sheikh or my imam?
It's the same thing. Your sheikh is your imam.
Well, I have several sheikhs that I have learned from and continue to learn from. And as far as like an imam goes, I would just go to the local imam of the masjid that I attend if I had any issues or any concerns that I needed addressed. But as far as like how you consider a sheikh to be, like you consider a sheikh and an imam to be the same thing and someone needs to take bayat to, no, there's no sheikh or imam that I've taken bayat to.
You can't have a bunch of sheikhs. It's like having a foot in two separate boats. Eventually, they will drift away and you will fall in the river.
I mean, that's a nice little saying, a nice little quote and all that. But do you have anything from the Quran or the Sunnah that backs that up? And are you using that quote in the right context? Well, just so you know, and another reminder that everything we say or do should be supported with the Quran and the Sunnah. You know, we are Muslim. And it's nice, you can use quotes and sayings and analogies and all that stuff as long as the meaning aligns with the Quran and Sunnah. So let's try to break this down a little bit. We know that Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam had one teacher, and his teacher was Allah himself. So the next step would be, okay, how many teachers did the Sahaba have? How many sheikhs, teachers? I know you consider sheikhs and imams the same thing, but we know the imam was Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But how many teachers did the Sahaba have?
One. They only had Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
Close, but not exactly totally correct, because we know that the Sahaba, they learned things from two places. They either learned directly from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or they learned from other Sahaba, which traces directly back to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So right there at the Sahaba level, we have examples of the Sahabas having multiple teachers or / sheikhs that they learned from.
That is different. How many imams did they have?
That's a good question, and I only brought this up just to illustrate a point, and you've already said it, that when you say sheikh, you're not talking about like a teacher, you're talking about an imam. You consider a sheikh the same thing as an imam, the leader, and you and everybody in your cult group think the same thing. So when you're talking about a sheikh, you're not actually talking about a teacher, someone that you learn from. You're not talking about an old person that we respect. You're talking about a leader, an imam, the one that leads your community. Correct?
Yes, that is what a sheikh is. They teach and are also the imam.
So you do accept the fact that, we can have multiple teachers or we can have multiple sheikhs, or do I have to give you like a history lesson about how many different sheikhs that Sheikh Abdul Qadir Jilani, rahimahullah, had? Do I need to do that?
No, I'm really talking about the leader, the imam.
Okay, so in that context, let's talk about the quote now that you said about, having the feet in the boats and falling in the river and all that. So yeah, it makes sense that, you can't follow two imams. Two imams are going to give you different rulings, they're going to have different opinions, and they all could be correct and supported by the Quran and Sunnah, but eventually you're going to come to points where there's disagreement, and then where do you go from there, right? So in that context, it makes sense. But you do recognize that as a ummah right now, we do not have an imam. We do not have an imam of the ummah, correct?
We have a Muslim community, and our sheikh is our imam. If you don't take bayat to the imam, then shaitan becomes your imam. So the whole ummah is following shaitan.
Hold on, buddy. Relax. Before you go down the road of calling all the Muslims that aren't in your cult non-Muslims or off it or deviant or that sort of thing. Let's just hold up on that. So are you saying right now that your community has an imam?
Yes.
So why don't you take Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as your imam or your sheikh?
That's a dumb question.
Why is that a dumb question?
Because we all know that Rasulullah ﷺ went back to Allah. After him, we had the 4 Khalifa that took over as the leaders. They're the Imams. And after that, we have other leaders, and now we have sheikhs, just like we have our perfect sheikh, our perfect murshid.
Okay, that makes sense. Since Rasulullah has passed on, we need teachers or sheikhs or imams that are alive to teach us and guide us and lead us. And that aligns with, different hadiths that we have from Prophet Muhammad who says that the scholars are the inheritors of the prophets. So that makes sense, right? So is that correct? We need people that are alive, to lead us and teach us and to be our imams, to be our sheikhs.
Yes, obviously.
So you do know that your sheikh is actually dead, correct? So yeah, he died a while ago, right? Like you guys are even building a shrine around his grave and all that. So who's your sheikh now?
Our perfect murshid left his wife in charge. She is our sheikha now. She is our perfect murshida.
Wow, that was quick. You guys jumped from perfect murshid to perfect murshida. And just to clarify real quick, she's not his wife. He passed away. She's his widow. So, she's not still married to him, just to be exact. That period is long over. She can marry anybody else that she wants to going forward. And so stop referring to her as his wife. But I understand what you're saying. So right now you guys have a sheikha, correct?
Yes.
And earlier you said that a sheikh and the imam are the same thing. So your sheikha is the same as, your sheikh, right?
Yes.
So just to be clear, you now have a female sheikha or imam. And I don't even know if there's a feminine version of the word imam, but you have a female leader, correct?
Yes.
May Allah protect us. I'm pretty sure you are aware of the Sahih hadith when Rasulullah ﷺ said that no group of people that appoint a woman as their leader will prosper. And this is in Sahih Bukhari. Sahih Bukhari is the second most authentic book, second after the Quran. So you are aware of this hadith, correct? So your perfect murshid, and murshid in quotes too, contradicted what Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said and appointed a woman as y'all imam or sheikh or leader. This is just another example of how you have to make a decision of whether your sheikh was ignorant of this hadith and did not know about it, which most everyday Muslim knows about this hadith. So he's either ignorant or he's a deviant and violates the Quran and Sunnah and just ignores the warnings that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ gave to us. And we've talked before. There's plenty of examples that shows both that your sheikh was ignorant and also blatantly violates the Quran and the Sunnah. And now your new sheikha, she's either ignorant or deviates from the Quran and the Sunnah as well, because she accepted the position and is now your imam.
That hadith only applies to Muslim countries.
That's actually funny you say that, because when Rasulullah ﷺ said this hadith about groups, communities, or nations will not prosper when they appoint a female leader, it was actually in the specific context of a woman being appointed the leader of a non-Muslim country or a non-Muslim nation. So you guys are actually in the same exact situation that Rasulullah ﷺ talked about when he revealed this hadith.
Well, she's only in charge until her son finishes his training.
Finishes his training? You mean your perfect murshid did not finish the training of his own son? He's an adult. He's not like a little kid. He's a young man, an adult that should have been properly trained by someone who's a competent, perfect murshid, right? So why isn't he trained? Why isn't he, ready to lead you guys? And it doesn't even really matter if it's temporary. The point is that you right now have a female imam. And we'll add on to that point that your perfect Murshid could not even train his own son. And on top of that, to add more sauce to this is that the situation where in the non-Muslim country where Prophet Muhammad SAW told us about this hadith and this grave warning about appointing female imams is that in that non-Muslim country, they temporarily appointed the woman as the leader until the young male became of age to lead. So, like, as I said, you guys are in the exact situation. You guys could take the words of Prophet Muhammad SAW and apply them directly to yourselves. And you guys are violating, going directly against what Prophet Muhammad SAW said.
I don't have a female imam.
Wait. Did you leave the Jama'at? Congratulations, brother.
No. I mean, she really ain't the imam. She's a leader with the Shura Council.
Okay, so what is she then?
She is like a teacher or advisor until our Murshid's son takes charge.
So what you're saying is that you don't have a female imam, which means that you actually don't have an imam at all. So earlier, you said that anybody that does not take bay'ah to an imam and does not have an imam or sheikh, that their sheikh or imam is actually shaitan. So help me out here. Which is it? Do you have a female imam or is your imam shaitan? You asked me about my sheikh or my imam, and I already know where you're going with this because you wanted to allude that the fact that I don't have an imam, I don't have a sheikh, or I'm following multiple sheikhs and this and that my sheikh is actually shaitan. And according to your own logic in this very conversation, you either have a female imam or your imam is shaitan. So which one is it? You don't be quiet now. Like, you have to decide. This is according to your own logic.
My sheikh is my imam, and the walis of Allah never die. So he is my imam and sheikh.
And then we come full circle. Like I already asked you, if you're going to follow someone or take someone as your imam or sheikh who has passed away, then why don't you go directly to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Because if you said that you need someone alive to be your leader, to take over, to teach you, but now you're saying that your sheikh who's passed away and y'all are building him a whole shrine, right? That he's your sheikh, he's your leader, because you recognize that having a female imam is wrong. And you just realize that, like, oh, this is wrong. This contradicts what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. And then you also realize that, oh, if I don't have an imam, then according to my logic, that shaitan's my imam. So then you contradict yourself again by saying, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and take a dead imam as my imam and sheikh. And instead of doing that, instead of going to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you decide to take your dead sheikh who violates the Quran and the Sunnah and is either ignorant or a deviant. I mean, it's no matter where you go, you are not following Islam.
Listen, man, you're a devil, and I'm done with this. I'm out of here.
Peace. Assalamu alaikum.